What's up, you guys? This is Rob from A Gay Guy Plays, and today we are back with another installment of the Weekly Nightwave, the series where we take a look at this week's acts and find the most efficient or most entertaining way to take them on. Now, in addition to that, we do have a very interesting topic that we're going to be tackling, which is something that was alluded to in the dev workshop, where things would interact with your operator or your character a little bit more. Regardless, before we jump into any of that, I do have some housekeeping that I want to do, because there's some things to remind y'all about. First and foremost, we do have that Prime Vault giveaway that is going on, I think, until Monday night, Tuesday, something like that. I don't know. I'm going to leave a link in the description down below so that you guys can go ahead and enter if you haven't already. Moving along, we also have the Wolf of Saturn 6 Showdown that is currently going on, and that only lasts until Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So dig on into that, knock out as much as you possibly can. I have 5 sets that I'm so excited to toss into the subscriber vault for Twitch. So just in case you guys are there, follow me over at twitch.tv/agayGuyPlays. If y'all are subs, you might be able to go ahead and pick that up with some gherkins. And I did get the wolf mask too. So very exciting. Just know you've still got some time left if you need to jump into it. Then of course we have 3 Gift of the Lotus alerts that are going to be expiring on May 15th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now 2 of these are skins that already exist. One is the Paris Abra skin, and then we have the Galaxian Polar skin. And then this is completely new, and I still need to go ahead and do this. This is actually the Palatine skin. So make sure you jump into that if you are a little bit newer, haven't gotten your hands on this. Go ahead and jump on into that. Regardless, let's go ahead and take a look at this week's Nightwave challenges. And let me tell you, they're a bit of a pain in the ass. So let's go ahead and get things started with the daily. I haven't actually tackled this myself, but it's open 20 lockers, and that actually pairs well with another one that will be coming up. Sharing is caring. We have kill 150 enemies with viral damage. We have Cash Hunter, which is find 3 caches in 3, or find all caches in 3 sabotage missions. Earth Fisher, catch 6 rare fish in the plains of Eidolon. Eliminator, complete 3 exterminate missions. We have Good Friend, help Clem with his weekly mission. Operative, complete 3 spy missions. Polarize, still roll my eyes this one. Polarize with Forma 3 times, not in the simulacrum. Is there something that you can do to like polarize in the simulacrum? Because I sure have never ever done that in the past. We have Protector, complete 3 mobile defense missions. Hydralist Hunter, kill or capture an Eidolon Hydralist. Then we have Kill Shot, kill 1,500 enemies, and Sortie Expert, complete 3 sorties. Now, here is the pain in the butt for all of these. They're all pretty widespread across a bunch of different game modes. The only thing that I could see is maybe jumping into a sortie and some of those missions being the mission types that happen to be in the sortie. However, that is kind of like rolling your dice on what luck decides to give you. So these ones are all pretty much standalones. There's very little crossover except for maybe the Cash Hunter, find all caches in 3 sabotage missions, and Kleptomaniac, which is open 20 lockers. Those kind of play along the lines with it. Or maybe go ahead and tackle the Help Clem with his weekly mission, because that might actually go ahead and knock out a couple of the other ones. But everything else is pretty much standalone, and it kind of burns you real good. Regardless, let's go ahead and jump into a couple more interesting things, because this week doesn't really seem like much for saving. The only thing I would suggest is maybe try out a couple different frames that you haven't for all of these different ones. Like maybe if you use Loki a lot in the operative missions, go ahead and give it, you know, a try with Octavia, or maybe a frame that's not even meant for like spy missions, anything like that. Mobile defense missions, try a different type of mobile defense, like a Ninja. And I know this is gonna sound really weird because Ninja can put things up in spikes, but try the whole fire feet build where you like run around and you just put your fire everywhere so that enemies are caught and CC'd by that. Give that a shot too. That could definitely be some fun. Now, let's go ahead and put this down, because we do have what I think is an interesting topic to jump into. As you can see right here, let me go ahead and bring this up real quick. We have the dev workshop for all of the Nightwave stuff that's coming on. If you missed that video, I'll go ahead and leave a link up here so that you can go and have me read it out to you so that you don't have to worry about it. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about that really stood out to me was this right here, which is of course the Emissary. Of course, a new series means a new Nightwave story. We don't want to spoil too much, but we will also be changing up the way the story interacts with the world. Episode 2 will have more interactivity with the players in new ways, expanding out and growing as the episode progresses. So we've got episode progression, we've got interaction with the player. I'm really excited to see how that goes. We're excited for you to see what makes this new story. So one of the things that I was thinking in my head is, what if deeper progression into the Nightwaves would equal some interesting bonuses? And I know that sounds really, really weird because I was kind of racking my brain as to exactly what, you know, interaction with the player would look like, how that storyline would go. Now, I thought that this was going to be something fairly simple, where you would maybe have one of those like void demons like appear on your ship, and maybe they recorded some dialogue lines where, you know, they're talking about something that's going on with the story, because literally after, what is it called? Oh my god, what is that? After Rel's storyline, and I believe also the War Within, we just have kind of like limited interaction, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think I've seen them pop up more than 3 times in my ship in total after, you know, all of the events went down. So for me, it would be kind of cool, like, as you go deeper into the story, maybe you're driven into madness and you start seeing the Void Demon more and more and more and more, and maybe even interacting and having some really cool special effects going on with it. I think that would make the story even more immersive. Another thing that I wanted to touch on, because apparently this is going to be an infested type storyline, or at least from what they've seen so far, because they've showed off that shoulder piece that was basically an ancient head slapped onto your shoulder, and they were talking about the new infested katana, two-handed katana? I don't know, it was some sort of weapon. Regardless, it was another infested weapon, and it supposedly goes hand in hand with the storyline. So I was thinking, we haven't heard much from Helmuth lately, right? So I'm thinking, I mean, what if the storyline just kind of starts and maybe week 1, the door to the Helmuth chamber is just wide open, and it's just chilling there, and it's just sitting there, right? That's all it's doing, not doing anything crazy. Maybe the next, you know, installment, we start hearing, you know, sounds from there, and Ordis maybe starts making some remarks, and really every time you go into your orbiter, it kind of like feels like something living is happening, and kind of goes hand in hand with the whole storyline. I think that that might be a really, really immersive experience, and great just for some lore, just to like zhuzh things up a little bit, you know what I mean? I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I did really, really enjoy just watching the entire like a Wolf of Saturn 6 storyline just play out and just have it going as like one big cinematic. So to have that cinematic almost kind of like, I know this sounds really, really bad, like violate your living space by actually pulling your character into the story, I think that that would be absolutely cool. Now, of course, while I chat about this in a lore way, I also thought that it would be really, really interesting to actually have this affect things mechanically, right? So I was thinking, because many players like looked at the progression through the, what is it called? The Nightwave missions, right? As you're going through, you're just kind of getting a single dose reward. And we said things along the lines of, you know, you're making us do all of these big missions and we just get kind of like points towards something. What if the deeper we progress, the points kind of mean something, but also the Nightwave rank maybe means something. So as you go a little bit deeper into the Nightwave, maybe your credit drop rates increase, maybe your endo drop rates increase, maybe like your resource multipliers go up, something along those lines, where it's like, okay, well, you know, I'm, you know, at Nightwave rank 5, you know, great. But as you go up, you're like, okay, that's 5%, and then maybe you'll get like, as you go to 10, you'll get a 10% increase. You know, as you go to 20, you'll get a 20% increase, and that'll kind of hold out through the entire series. So it's not just kind of like one of those things that remains static, but instead, it's kind of one of those things that grow along with you and encourage you to push forward in the Nightwave. Because I'm sure that there are some people out there that are like, maybe came into the series a little bit later, and are like, well, there's no way that I'm gonna get to the end point, so there's no point in me even playing it. But at least this way, as you're going along it, maybe you don't make it to the very, very end, right? Maybe you don't go all the way up. But what ends up happening is you'll have a reason to at least go a little bit further to increase your drop rates. Maybe even have it affect the rarity chance of things dropping. You know, maybe skew RNG a little bit. I'm not sure how complicated the coding for that would be, and it probably is a lot more complicated than I lead on, but I think that maybe that would be a really, really cool way to encourage players instead of just having like this static, okay, you get this reward here, you get some wolf creds here, you get this thing here. Like, instead of having that, at least have, you know, something that kind of pushes players to move a little bit forward. The other thing that I thought would be really, really cool too is that maybe the dailies would provide benefits. So right now we have like the viral damage one, right? Where sharing is caring. Well, after you complete that, maybe for 24 hours, you'll get a viral damage buff. So whenever you're running around dealing viral damage, that viral damage is actually increased. So it's almost kind of like a task that carries on with you. Maybe if you do like a kill, you know, how many melee enemies with melee, you'll get a boost to your melee damage. So it's kind of like this incentive to keep playing every single day that's more interactive and more interesting than just having kind of like this one-off, hey, here's 1,000 points towards your standing, right? So let me know how you guys feel about that down in the comments section below. Also, do me a huge favor, if you guys have any cool ideas of how these things could potentially increase as your not wolf rank, I guess you would say, Nightwave rank increases, go ahead and toss that down there as well, because legitimately, we want to give some inspiration to make this game more fun. There are so many dedicated players out there that just kind of sit and slog through all of the droughts that we have. So, you know what, if we could kind of make the whole community a better place during those droughts, maybe less drama videos will be made. I'm just saying. You know, some people get antsy and have nothing else to talk about. But maybe if there was something a little bit more fun for us to interact with, we'd spend less time attacking each other. Regardless, that just do it for me for now. Wow, those were words that tried to come out. It's only because Game of Thrones is coming soon, and legitimately, if good things happen tonight, I get to break keto. If bad things happen tonight, I'm gonna be eating some rotisserie chicken breast with some mayonnaise, okay? So, you know, just cheer with me, and I'm gonna let you guys go. So, as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and please, cheer for Daenerys. I'll see you guys next time. Well, I'm still doing this. Bye-bye.